Disney Marvel shill boys are in full cope mode over Shang-Chi, which still, regardless of what everybody's saying, had the third lowest box office performance in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. It's a failure by any metric, but we're going to go over why they are now claiming it's a success and what this means for Disney's current marketing strategy now. But I still have Deus Vult on Indiegogo right now. If you want a book that is awesome, classic comics with a non SJW spin on it, good heroism, a great story, this is the book for you. We're still crushing it. I've gotten all the books out. Just got a new backer yesterday, so thank you guys for tuning in and doing that. And this link will be in the description below. I wrote this, and my good pal Jesse White drew the wonderful art here. I'm really proud of this. Everybody's saying it's great in the reviews, unlike Shang-Chi. I'll do a Shang-Chi review full off in a bit. But right now, I just want to stick to the box office results and what's going on. I made a video yesterday about a Bounding Into Comics article, which talks about how Shang-Chi really has the third worst opening weekend in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. This is true. Shang-Chi registered a $75 million return over 3 days, which is lower than Black Widow by $5 million. People are getting less excited about the movies that Disney are putting out as they come on. And I got ratioed on YouTube when I put this out. I got a bunch of angry comments. I'm very shocked by, I got one from Nerdette's Newsstand, who is somebody I actually like. But she says she's unsubbing to me. I've officially become worse than EVS, who is Ethan Van Sciver, one of the most popular comic artists in comics and an excellent YouTuber in his own right. So very, very weird that this all came in and that this take of mine got a bunch of hate from the Disney Marvel shill boys. But I'm seeing like the narrative that's unfolding with this, that Shang-Chi was actually a success because it's the best success with an Asian American lead. And this is how SJWs always try to change things, change the narrative, and change the bar so that they can always have the best and the newest with their, quote, minority BS. Now, the people who are sort of center-left are going along with this because what's happened over the last couple of years is they've moved the bar on this level, too, to where, you know, these new leads that are minority leads and women leads, that's not so bad anymore. That's not actually SJW anymore. It's when they do the gay thing and the trans thing. That's what's SJW. It seems like the bar's moved on that end as well, but it really hasn't. This was a culture war movie. This was a movie that was aimed at a Chinese audience in order to try to tap into that China market, just like Disney always does. They put a female comedian in there who is no better than Amy Schumer making vagina jokes throughout the entire movie. It was an SJW film by all marks, and again, I'll do a review of this later and why this movie was such a failure as a film later. But right now, we're just going to talk about what it did. It clearly did $75 million Friday to Sunday over its opening weekend. Black Widow did $80 million. Now, if you remember earlier in the summer, Black Widow was called a failure. It was said it was killed in the box office by COVID. Disney Plus's strategy of putting out its movie on Disney Plus also killed the movie, which we don't have the numbers for. We don't know how well it did on Disney Plus, which I'm going to guess added quite a substantive bit to the total. But for some reason, this now is bigger than Black Widow and leggier than Black Panther, even though we don't have the results for the next week. I'm going to guess that the drop-off's going to be pretty big just because this was a mediocre movie at best. There was nothing really redeeming about it, but they're really just pushing this narrative now after the first week it came out rather than before to try to grab the culture war after. Now, they tried to do this with Black Widow to some extent before, and they do this with the women lead movies all the time, making it about sexism and all that, so that they can have a narrative about that and try to get the SJWs to go put their butts in the theater seats. Now, it didn't really work last time, so they had a very hush-hush hype up to the movie. There really wasn't much going on with it marketing-wise. They waited till after it came out so that they could declare it a success. Once they declared it a success, anybody who questions the metrics of those success, now they have that racist going on with it. And so they can have an attack mob sent on you, like was done to my channel yesterday, when I just clearly stated that this movie was not doing well compared to most Marvel movies whatsoever. This whole phase of Marvel movies does not have excitement like they had before. The corporate media is failing, and people are starting to get tired of it. They're not interested in it anymore. And it's very odd to watch people shill for this stuff at this juncture in time. So this is their current marketing strategy. They're trying to boost up the hype for the second week so that they can declare it a further success as it outdoes Black Widow in its second week, which Black Widow was not a success. So outdoing that, if it does that, which it did not in its first week, is not a success metric by any measure. This is still on the lower end for Marvel movies. The Mabran team is losing, and that is what we have going on right now. Interesting. I hope that the Shill Brigade comes back, because I hope they hit that like and subscribe button and listen to the reality of what's going on in corporate entertainment today. You guys could use a wake-up call. I hope you get it. Take the red pill with us, everybody, and come join us. What do you think about this? Hit the like and subscribe button yourself, and leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. See you guys.